We're live, but I didn't even start the countdown, so. Welcome to the Dumbfound Dishes. Welcome to the Dumbfound Dishes podcast. Where'd it go? Where's the camera? Hello.
That's Wax. And holding that wax is Mike, and I'm Ryan. Welcome back.
So here is
Cheers to
a
y'all.
message from our current sponsor, 710 Labs, a new sponsor that isn't actually sponsoring us, and I had to pay full price for the product. You assholes, thanks. So
no freebies.
Well, it's actually it's like a high-end oil company, and their oil it's all right. I mean, I got it, but that doesn't mean it's.
Wow, what an endorsement, Mike.
Listen. If you're gonna charge me $90 a gram, it better make me fly in the sky.
Yeah, that better be rocket fuel.
It's not.
Like, what do you think it's worth? You think it's worth 60, 70?
I mean, I think this one was 70. I think it's more worth like 50, but you get taxed heavily when you go to the shops. So cheers everybody.
How convenient was it though? Oh, speaking about why I'm asking how convenient it was, Mike, you just went recently too.
Yes, we didn't go live for a little while because I was in San Diego, and I was gonna go live from San Diego, but the time difference always fucks me.
Yeah, that 3 hours is no joke.
So, this is 710 Labs from San Diego. The flavor is me spilling it everywhere. The flavor is Cherry Pops, Sherb Pops, Cherry Noir, whatever that means. 2 different flavors.
So it's like a cherry sherbet fucking hybrid, blah, 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 blah.
It's quite delicious.
I bet.
So also, I guess we'll start the show with San Diego again, because I might as well buy a fucking house there. Not that I can afford one.
Yeah, why were you gone, Mike? Why were you gone?
I want to go to San Diego again. It's beaches and cannabis.
Is it not the greatest? Is it not the greatest city in the country?
No,
it's probably the nicest.
It's not okay. It's hard to say it's the greatest city in the country because it is fucking California.
It's the nicest major city in the country. Nicest.
It has yes. It's one of the nicest cities I've been to. One of.
For a big city.
Now.
It's nicer than Boston, that's for shit sure.
But at least in Boston, in the winter it's too cold to do anything. So you don't if you go walking at night, you don't have to worry about getting mugged because it's too cold to mug you. It's too cold.
Yeah.
San Diego,
but that's only for a limited time during
half the year.
Though.
Half the year. It's like half the year.
You still get mugged in Boston in the summer though.
Yeah, but that's only in the summer. San Diego's always summer.
Yeah.
So
same weather all year round, right?
Yeah, I went to the shops and I got a bunch of goodies, including the 710 Labs I just dabbed, which I'm going to dab more because it's not the strongest thing in the world, apparently. I bought a drink, as I was telling you before we went live. And
Mike is saying your shit is weak.
and the drink was 100 milligrams. So what I was doing, since I was in San Diego with my family, is waiting for my entire family to go to bed, then walking around the safe streets of San Diego at night by myself.
Yeah, San Diego's a very safe city, too, to walk around.
I was being
at night.
facetious.
Oh, wait, what? There was fucking bums? You had Bum City?
It's not.
There were no bums when I was there. There were no bums.
I'm a New Yorker. It doesn't faze me, but it would have fazed other people probably, if you know what I mean.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I see.
I'm walking around smoking a blunt like I own the place. I mean, what are they gonna Yeah. Anyway, so I bought one of the drinks, which in the shop I told you before there was a shelf of drinks, and the first one was like a root beer that was 10 milligrams for the whole bottle. I don't know what that does to anyone, but 10 milligrams.
The light dose
isn't gonna tickle.
Some people are sensitive. I hear some people are like, I get fucked up off of 50. Like, and I'm like, how?
So
That just puts me to a level head.
at the end of the row, there's some guava, pineapple, fancy fruity drink, but it says 100 milligrams in the bottom. And I'm like, okay, I'll fuck with that. My entire family goes to bed, so I decide to indulge in said cannabis drink, and I drink about half of it. And I decide,
Okay.
I don't feel it yet, even though it takes like sometimes an hour to kick in. I don't feel it. I'm gonna go for a walk in San Diego at night, 9 o'clock at night. Not too late, but no one else. It's not tourist time, so there's no tourists out. And I'm gonna take a pre-roll joint that I bought.
Hmm.
And the pre-roll joint that I bought, if I have the wrapper, is this it? This is not it. This is one of the ones, but it was infused with also hash oil. So I light the joint, I'm smoking the joint, walking around, and I get to about halfway down towards the beach from where my house is, which was like 2 blocks. And I
Hmm.
look forward, and everything just starts getting really
Tunnel
yeah,
vision. Yeah, that's the
yes.
tunnel vision. Yeah, yeah,
And I,
yeah.
and I, and I, and I decide, I'm like, I think I've
It's
walked
almost like you're
far
a horse
enough.
with blinders.
Well,
Like a
it's
horse with blinders.
it,
It's like everything just
it's
closes
happened
in a
to me
little bit.
several times with edibles, where you'll eat
Yeah,
it and you'll forget
yeah.
you ate it, and then it'll kick in, and you're like, "Oh no, I'm too high right now," and that's what
That was
happened.
UFC 208.
Oh my, yes,
Yeah. I
that
was just
was. But that was me.
octagon
No,
vision.
it's nighttime in San Diego, and I'm by myself, and I'm looking down this block towards the beach with like a homeless guy over there, two shady characters smoking some weed over there, which there's nothing wrong with the weed
Yeah.
part, but they are shady
Right.
characters.
They're shady. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And by shady, I don't mean
Like they're sus. Like they might be fucking bummish. Maybe they're not, but they're degenerates of some
hoodlums. They're
sort.
hoodlums. They're hoodlums.
Yeah.
They're not your average people just hanging out. They're not. They're up to no good. Anyway, and I'm like, I think I'm too high for this, and I just turned around and went back. By the time I got home, I was like, I hit the bed and was like out cold.
Nice.
And
I slept
speaking
like
of
a
which,
baby.
I forgot that edible. I never finished it, and I forgot it behind. I left it behind by accident.
Oh shit. Damn. That sucks. You could get that shit though. I'm pretty sure you could get that
Yeah,
shit in New
of
York.
course, of course. It's just
Just a little bit more of like a couple of hoops that you got to jump through to get it.
yeah, and it probably costs more.
Yeah,
There's
yeah, yeah,
more
yeah.
tax than.
I hear they
Well,
make them. I hear they make them. They don't even taste like fucking any sort of fucking like
So
hemp or weed product.
I bought
Like
multiple
they taste like
edibles.
straight up sodas.
I bought
Yeah.
multiple edibles. The pineapple drink tasted like weed.
Okay.
The pineapple chews I bought tasted delicious, but they didn't get you high.
Right.
They were weak. The 710 Labs edibles I got gummies, they tasted horrendous, but they wrecked you.
Yeah, because they were fucking probably. They're
That's
like,
why
we're
they
not
take
trying to
it
give
was,
you no
yeah,
bullshit.
yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
I've noticed that as well, and I think it's because they try to add so much artificial flavoring to make it more appealing to people who have no taste for marijuana. You know what I mean? Like the actual flavor of hemp, flavored things. So it's like, for some people, it's like, oh, add crazy sugar to it so I don't notice that I'm eating that much weed. Because some people will freak out just by the taste of it. People will get like pre-weed paranoid. They're already paranoid to begin with or anxious. And they'll work themselves up. Just the
Well, that's
taste
why a lot
alone
of
will give
people,
them.
not everyone can handle weed. It's just a fact.
That is true. Some people are just made for it. But what the fuck is this? Is this what you
This,
encountered in
this.
Cali?
So, me and my son were in the bay. We mostly hung out in the bay side of the water because there's less waves.
Yeah.
It's flat. It's not as deep, so you can kind of go out and do whatever you want to do. And me and my son were out there, and like the little girl that he is, he goes, "Oh my God, something's on my leg," and he goes like, "Ah, it bit me," and I'm like, "You're full of shit. Come on, bro. There's nothing biting you in the water. There's nothing." So I think nothing of
But
it.
it's like a sea tick. Is that like a sea tick or something
It's
like
like a
that?
sea flea, kind of, but
Okay.
it's in
All
the
right,
water.
yeah.
It's really really small, like the size of a.
You got me fucking scratching. I'm like, I
Like
got
it's
them on
smaller
me
than the tip of a Q-tip. It's a little smaller than the tip of a Q-tip. So
now. But they bite humans.
yes, and it could draw blood. It feels like, and it can be like, it ends up looking like a mosquito bite. But hold on.
Okay.
So he does that reaction and makes a big deal about it, and I don't believe him because he's 12. Come on, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
I didn't say
he could
that.
be trolling you. Yeah,
Not even trolling
like father,
me.
like
Just
son.
not even
I
trolling
gotcha.
me. Just making a big deal about like, oh, something touched my leg. What was that in the water? It was gross.
Oh, okay, an
Like I don't.
overreaction maybe too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So a day goes
It's
by.
just seaweed, but he thinks
A,
it's a jellyfish or some shit.
a day goes by. Nothing. The next day, it's high tide, and I'm in the water now. I'm standing there, and I look, and I see this little motherfucking thing, little itty bitty thing, white like this, little shiny like this, moving around in the water, and I'm like, what is that fucking thing? And then it lands on me and proceeds to fucking bite me.
Like you watched it bite you?
I watch it land on me and bite me.
Yeah, dude. That's like it's crazy. I mean, like I watch mosquitoes do that and shit. I
Yeah, but
physically
this thing
watched
was
the
weird. It was
beast.
just weird. I
Yeah.
looked at my son. I was like, I'm sorry. I thought you were a pussy, but
No,
apparently
no,
they're
they're all over
real.
the place out there. I guess out there, yeah. I mean, they're like yeah, like you said, sea fleas.
And it was
You
only
gotta
during
watch
high
out when
tide.
you're in the
Only high
when you're
tide.
in nature. You're in nature, man. Nature's got you, man. That's
Oh,
all
speaking
nature,
of
man.
nature,
Nature's
you ready
got
for
you.
this one? This is the last story of San Diego I will say, and you're gonna laugh
Yeah.
at this. I booked my entire family actually. We decided to
Yeah.
go to the San Diego Zoo.
Okay. This your
I,
first time going?
no, I was there
Oh, okay.
4 months ago, 5 months, whatever, less than that. When I was in San Diego not that long ago.
The last time you went, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the last time you went.
So
Yeah.
I've decided to take my son because he wasn't with me last time, so we booked the San Diego Zoo. Now I see on the San Diego Zoo website right next to it's also the San Diego Zoo Safari, and I'm like, ooh, we didn't do the safari yet. That sounds cool. Let's do the safari, and we book it. We don't we don't research it at all. We don't look up
Right.
anything at all. We assume San Diego Zoo Safari is that. So we're ready to go there. I put the address in my GPS, and it says 45 minutes away. The San Diego Zoo is 10 minutes away from where I'm staying. So I'm like, wait, where the fuck is this? It's 40 minutes outside of San Diego in the fucking desert.
Oh, they're affiliated. They're affiliated with the
No,
San Diego Zoo, but they take you out on
it
like
is
a
the San
preserve.
Diego Zoo, but it's just not in the San Diego Zoo area.
Oh, yeah, it's a separate
It's the
property.
safari, yes.
Yeah.
So it is in the desert. In the desert. In August.
Is that like Poway or some shit?
I, anyway, we get there.
Yeah.
It's not too bad out. We go inside. I buy these big safari hats because it's hot as balls and you want to be protected from the sun.
Yeah.
The whole entire time I'm fucking miserable. Everyone's miserable. We're pouring sweat. We don't realize that we get to the car. It was like 110 degrees.
Yeah, bro. Of
Insane.
course.
Insane.
Of course. Do you remember how hot it was in Vegas when we were there? Dude,
No.
it was 107 degrees when I
don't.
met up with you guys.
It was different.
It was
because we
yeah,
were walking.
maybe
The way Vegas is set up, you don't really ever have to cross the street. They have all those
right.
walkways
You
that
can
go,
yeah,
and they go
yeah,
through
yeah.
casinos. So when you go through that casino, the ace is
Yeah,
blasting.
yeah.
So to me, someone who's in
You
shape,
don't remember, but we stepped
I was
outside
just fucking with you
to
guys.
smoke blunts. We stepped outside to smoke blunts, and everybody had to immediately go back inside because it was just too fucking hot, and the sun was down, dude. Sun was down, and it was like a $1:05, dude. Like
The
at
coolest thing
nighttime.
about that trip was awesome. That was my bachelor party,
that
right?
was
That's
fun.
what it was.
Yeah, bachelor party, yeah.
That trip was awesome. And what made it even awesome, besides shooting the guns, because that was cool too, when we went to the UFC
That was
fights.
fun.
And
Yeah.
at the UFC fights, in the smoking section, a big sign saying 420 is okay. And I was like,
Yeah, on the balcony. It was outside on the balcony.
my dream has come
At the
true.
arena.
A sports
Yeah.
venue that literally
Yup.
says, smoke your weed. We don't care. And I didn't bring any because I didn't know that.
And you remember the parking garage right across the balcony from us, there were fucking officers just like strapped watching us all blaze. And it was shortly after
I remember you
Nirvana
pointed that
came
out
over.
because you're sitting there looking and you're like, that's hilarious. Look at them.
Dude, look at all the and this is like just as the tide was turning, I think. Like with
They had just legalized like a month
legalization.
earlier. Oh, they just opened their first recreational shop a month earlier.
They legalized it the year before, but the first recreational shops opened like a month before we got there. And so they weren't really around for too long. You know what I mean? But Yeah, man, that was pretty dope. Like it all just everything just cracking open all at once. You know what I mean?
Do you
That was
remember
pretty dope.
we bought the first trip, the first time we went to the shop? I think we all bought too much weed.
Yeah, dude,
We had way too
we
much.
left ounces. Yo, whoever cleaned that fucking Airbnb when we left was blessed. Was
Imagine they were just like
blessed.
some straight edge dude.
No, because I'm telling you, if they sold that shit on the street, they would have made their rent for shit sure. Like with what we left over. And we brought stuff home, bro. And we brought stuff with all. We all brought stuff home.
I didn't bring stuff
And
home.
there was still like fucking
Oh, I did
like
bring
a couple of
edibles.
zips. The edibles I brought home, yeah. I brought edibles.
Raymond,
What's
we're
up,
gonna talk
Raymond?
about our title next. We were just talking about my trip to San Diego and all the
Yeah.
shenanigans.
So we started with San Diego, Raymond.
Oh, now
and
we're on
then now
Vegas.
Yeah, now we're on Vegas. And speaking about Vegas and degeneracy in California, we're going to talk about like some Hollywood folk. I guess that's sort of what we named the episode after. And it just seems like fucking like what and that is still that shit that you were downplaying before, right? You said that
Yeah,
shit
I'm
was
not
garbage.
downplaying. It's good. I didn't say it was garbage. This is our sponsor. What the hell are you doing, bro? I said they're a little overpriced.
You can't say that about your sponsor, though. I think
Of
that's a
course I
little.
can.
That's a little. You think? Yeah, you could just like be blatant like that.
Well, they're not paying me. If they're paying
I
me,
know
I'm gonna tell
that.
them they're the greatest thing in the world.
Oh, but they gave you nothing for free.
No,
Oh,
nothing.
that sucks.
No. I went to the shop and bought that myself. I think it
Yeah.
no
Well, at least you're supporting small business, right? Like they're not
it's
like a
not
corporation or anything,
definitely a
right?
corporation.
What? Yo,
Yeah.
so corporations have like this legal weed now? Like they're on it? Like it's like
I
real
mean,
deal
it's
corporate?
not. Well, hold on.
Because I thought there's still
I don't.
legalities with that federally.
Hold on. It's not like Pfizer owns 710 Labs,
Right.
or it's
I know
so.
that.
Of course, it's a
But I mean
corporation.
like
No, that's what all
boardroom,
businesses are.
I know, but I mean like boardroom with like legit meetings and
I don't know
shit.
if there's a. No, I don't know if there's a boardroom at 710 Labs. There's probably some couple of stoners who started pressing wax 10 years ago, and
I just feel
eventually
yeah,
went
like it's
legit.
still it's like Integrity Farms, you know what I mean? Like kind of just like
Well,
a, you know,
did you see that movie
like
Savages?
a, no, I don't know.
It's
I
an
may have
Oliver
heard the
Stone
name of
movie. It's with the guy,
no.
the kid that played Kick-Ass, and some other.
No, last Oliver
It's a
Stone
good
movie
weed
I
movie.
watched was W.
You
W
should
was
watch.
the last one
You
that
should
I
watch
watched.
Savages. It's a good weed movie. They're weed growers, basically,
Where in like Humboldt County or some shit, like in Cali.
in Cali, but they're not. I think they're Southern California by the
Oh, okay.
Mexican border.
You watched that doc, right? The Murder Mountain, like where it was like those growers and all that fucking gangster, like legit like hillbilly California gangster shit. Like it was like almost like Ozarks, but of weed.
I have a story about that. My old boss, even though he was a shady piece of shit, he knew a lot of people, like most shady pieces of shit do. What's so funny?
Yeah. No, I just remember all the shit that used to go down with the fucking, you know, the studio and before like, you know, like giving it
So,
up. Yeah. All right. I just remember the build up to all that and I just remembered. I just had a memory of
one of the
that.
guys he knew that worked at a store across the street from the studio
Yeah.
moved to Humboldt County, California,
Yeah.
to grow,
Right.
and I guess became a decent sized grower, even though he came from like nothing in Bushwick, Brooklyn.
Okay.
Then he moves to Colorado.
To go legit?
I'm not sure what it was,
Right.
but runs into a guy that he knew in Humboldt County that owed him money, confronted the guy, and got blasted in the face with a shotgun.
Ooh, yeah, I told you it's gangster, dude. It's gangster. Like that, like they are legit, like wild, wild west, and the police don't even fucking want to bother going up into those mountains.
Yeah, Raymond, I don't think it was. It wasn't like a ground. Okay, it has very gangster moments though, but it has moments that you're like, why they put this in the movie to begin with? Like the whole.
Well, Oliver Stone does shit like that.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, it's very. It reminds me very similar to Natural Born Killers.
Yeah.
but it's not the same movie at all. But it's very like the style is very similar, the way it was shot
I
and
like Oliver
everything.
Stone. Oliver Stone, even though like I don't know, like it's just like I feel like he could be far out there as a person, but he's also like an artist. His movies are
Well,
just like
who isn't?
JFK. You remember JFK? You ever
Great
watch
movie,
JFK with Kevin
great, of
Costner?
course,
Fucking
of
great movie.
course, great movie.
I think he had a part. He had a part to do with Scarface also, but Brian De Palma
He,
did it. But didn't he? He wrote it or produced it, right?
I think he
Scarface.
wrote it. I think Oliver Stone wrote it. Actually, let's look it up.
He was supposed to direct it, but then he dropped off, and then Brian De Palma picked up. I think after he said, I'm good."
Director Brian De Palma, screenplay by Oliver Stone.
Oliver Stone, he wrote it. Okay. Yeah, that's like one of those like true romance, like where like Tarantino wrote it, somebody else directed. Wait,
Well,
who directed?
he sold it to Ridley Scott or Tony Scott.
Tony Scott. No, Tony Scott used to do the action movies. Was Tony Scott?
It
Ridley
was
Scott
True
used to do
Romance. True Romance. I think that
Tony
was.
Scott.
Let's see.
Tony
Hold
Scott.
on. Tony Scott. Yeah.
Tony Scott.
Is that the one that died?
He's the one he killed himself, I think.
Yeah.
But I think listen, killed himself. Now there are people who are bringing up the conspiracy theory that it's not conspiracy theory, okay? But I did hear it from tinfoil hats though that all these people they're all like killing themselves by hanging, but it's actual autoerotic asphyxiation because
Yep.
what they all had in common was that they were all at one point they were heroin addicts, you know, and a lot of them would like just be so dull that they need to get the rush from something like that. So that's why they all get caught hanging like that, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, that's the plot of the movie is it's these two guys that grow like the best weed on the market.
Yeah.
And the cartel wants to make a deal with them for millions of dollars, but they have to only give the recipe exclusively to the cartel.
Right.
And
Like Breaking
they're-
Bad.
sort of, but
Yeah.
they're in like these two guys are both dating the same girl and they're best friends.
Oh, okay.
So they have this weird threesome relationship where like one's the beefy guy, he's like tough and strong. The other guy's the emotional and soft one, and not to ruin anything, not really ruin anything, but the cartel kidnaps her
Yeah.
and demands the seeds from them.
And then the two in the truffle, the two dudes in the truffle go after her,
Well,
like to find her.
it's a l- it's Oliver Stone. Let's just say that. So like the guy, the tough guy is like an ex-Navy SEAL, so he has connections, and the
Okay.
nerdy guy is just a nerd.
Wow.
But it's a good movie, but it's not like a great movie. Like it's a movie you
Speaking
watch
about
once.
speaking about weird fucking relationships, Army Hammer, I just finished the documentary, right?
What is the
And-
Army Hammer? Hold on, Army
Okay.
Hammer documentary.
Yes, it's short for Armand Hammer, and he's named after his grandfather or his great grandfather.
Why are they making a documentary about this guy?
This is why. He comes from money. Plain
What's
and
the-
simple. If he was just another canceled Hollywood
Is it
guy,
called The
they
House
would have
of
never
Hammer?
made this. That maybe, I think so.
I thought you
was
watched
on,
it.
Yeah, it was on Discovery Plus. House
Yeah,
of Hammer?
it's
Yeah.
called-
Because it's about the family. It's about all of them. Now, this is why they made a documentary. Because he comes from money, right? So what this whole what happened was just like a year ago, a few months ago, Army Hammer was in a whole bunch of movies to start, right? One of them bombed. That was the Lone Ranger movie with Johnny Depp. That bombed. He was the Winklevoss twins in the Social Network.
Social
He
Network.
yeah. He was also in several other things, right? But I think he did something recently of notoriety that he may have gotten like an award for. But either way, so he got caught up in this whole, like text message, email, relationships, multiple thing, and it all blew up that he wanted to indulge in cannibal sex play, right? And that became a scandal. And then the scandal begat this whole cancel, I guess, movement with him. You know what I mean? To like get him to not be in things anymore. And
He's not in things to begin with.
He is. He's still. Yeah. He's not in anything of notoriety.
He's in
This is what it
something
is.
every 2 years.
He comes from a billionaire family. He comes from money, oil money. his great grandfather, I believe his great grandfather was an oil tycoon, right? Who got super rich and then had a son who was a do nothing drunk who just did cocaine in the 70s, who had a kid who became part of the company, and then Army Hammer was like, "Dad, I want to be an actor," and then the great grandson went
Cheers,
to become
Raymond.
an actor. Cheers, Raymond. And now he got caught up in this fucking scandal, and he's into BDSM, and a whole bunch of these girls came out to like talk shit about him. I believe, yeah, okay, he comes from privilege, and I think he might be like fucking scary as far as like his indulgences go. But I also feel like like in the documentary, this is something that's been brewing with the family because the family sort of uh, like they were like reclusive, but had like drug problems and sex scandals for years, and there were mistresses and all this shit, and people died. It's all crazy shit, right? But he's getting caught up in this whole. It's like something that like it's crazy. Like cancel culture uncovered something that was like insane.
Listen, hold on.
And if you watch the doc, it seems
No,
a little crazy. But
nope.
just to finish,
Nope.
a few of the accusers just seem like they're just jumping on a bandwagon, although some of them seem like victims straight up. Some of them are like, yeah, this guy's crazy, and I believe he's crazy. But then I feel like it's just convenient for some other people.
Listen. You saw this charming young man, and you said he comes from money. He must be a completely normal human being. I want to date him. Then you go back, things go good during the night. He doesn't say anything weird. He eats his steak weird, though, as he's looking at you, as he chews the steak. And then you get to your house. Oh, well, back to his place, because, why would you go to your house? You're broke and poor.
Yeah,
he probably
he lives
lives in
in a
this giant
penthouse.
fucking mansion.
Yeah.
You go back
Or
to his
loft,
place.
huge ass loft in Manhattan.
What'd I do? Why you give me those looks? What I'm talking about? So you go back to his place.
Is this urine?
Is that urine? No, that's water. Can I have my water? It's urine. It's urine. She's drinking my
Is
water.
your water
goddamn.
the color of urine? I think
No.
you need to boil your water, Mike.
No, I don't. So you go back to your bed, and and then he explains it to you. He goes, "Here, sign this waiver, please, because I'm into what'd you say it was called? Cannibalism play?
Yeah, I think.
Wait. How
I think
do you? I
an
don't know where I was
extension of
going with that, because
BDSM.
how do you fake that? How do you? Well, like you smack her with a steak and then eat the steak on her belly, pretending it's her. Like what do you do?
Now this is the thing. I
Hey,
believe
babe.
I believe in his relationships.
Hold on. How would one do cannibal play in the bedroom?
Like, the girl out with her period?
Wow, did you hear that?
That is extreme. That
Right?
is fucking extreme. Yeah. I
Right?
mean, like maybe.
You heard her? That's crazy.
Yes, but there are people who like cut themselves and shit and then indulge in sexual like foreplay and stuff like that. So there's that too.
That's not
There's
extreme,
people
but
who-
that's extreme.
No. It is pretty fucking extreme. I didn't think of that.
You never got your Red Wings before, bro?
No, never.
Never got your Red
Never.
Wings. Wow.
Nah. I only know what pennies taste like because I tasted pennies.
Oh
Nothing
my
else.
God, that's disgusting. He says, I only know what pennies taste like because I've tasted pennies. Wow, Raymond, that was awesome. If you're still there, Raymond, right? That was oof.
But yeah, I mean, like to each their own. But he seems a little bit off. But I feel like the piece,
Listen,
the
hey, listen,
documentary
whoa, whoa.
itself,
Let's
the
be real
piece
here.
is a kink shame. No, the piece is a hit piece on kink shaming.
Of course
like,
it is.
sort of-
No one
even
likes
though he's crazy.
billionaires. No one likes billionaires.
Yeah.
But listen. If a billionaire wants to eat a few people, I think you gotta let him.
If they could pay for it, would they have to go to like a third world country to like eat somebody?
It becomes a gray area because are you killing them or are you just eating a dead person?
No, yo, dude. Okay, so right now in the black market, there are people who are into and sexually turned on by people amputating them and eating parts of their body. So there are people who you can, there are people, this is on Law and Order SVU, bro. I've seen this shit on SVU, so you know it's true.
Wow.
There are people who will sell their fucking arms and legs to be eaten by other people on the internet.
Oh, speaking of Law and Order, hey babe, can you send me a link to those videos you watch? Why? My wife watches Law and Order videos, but they're sped up, so they're faster. So, but then by default, their voices are high pitched now.
Like Mickey Mouse?
Yes,
like Helium?
yes,
Okay.
yes. It's hilarious. So Raymond wanted to know why our title was, besides Army Hammer, but cleaning up with Army Hammer better than who's what? How do you say that name?
Well,
what's a Ezra Miller?
No, okay. So
what is
cleaning up with Army Hammer, because Arm & Hammer cleaning stuff, right? Products. And I'm cleaning up better than Ezra Miller. Better Than Ezra was the name of a 90s like alternative band. So Better Than Ezra Miller.
Oh, wow.
And Ezra Miller is also a sexual deviant who might be a cult leader. Who
is that? Who's Ezra Miller?
Ezra Miller is Flash in the Justice League. In that
What's the Justice League?
You know what a Justice League is? Shut up, Mike. You watched Batman and Superman, so you know who Justice League is.
I did watch Batman and Superman?
No, you know who Batman is. You know.
Did I see that with you? Did I see that with you?
You may have seen it with somebody else, not with me. We went to go see Marvel movies. I watch Marvel movies. I'm a Marvel guy. I don't do DC.
I think I saw Batman and Superman and I fell asleep.
Batman.
So I didn't see.
So, in the comic books, there is a series of comic books called the Justice League, and the Justice League is Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman.
No, but let's fast forward.
Cyborg.
Rewind. Hold on, pause. No one cares about this. So who's this Ezra?
Ezra Miller's an actor. He's a Hollywood actor.
Okay. And what'd he do?
Okay. He's a cult leader, I think. You pull this up, Ezra Miller. Okay, there was.
Is he the guy that like beat up a little old lady or something?
He may have done that too.
Wait, so he beat up an old lady. He's in a sex cult.
He's in a sex cult. I think he's in a. He's in a sex cult.
And hold on. It's not a he. It's a they, right?
He's a they. Yes.
Hold on.
Hold on. They. Yes.
So he's beating up an old lady. He's in a sex cult.
Beating up an old lady. They are the leader of a sex cult.
They've done all these things, but they haven't been canceled only because they're a they, and not because they're not a male.
No, I think it's Warner Brothers, the influence of Hollywood, also.
I don't think so.
The money that went into the Flash, the money that went into it, it's like fucking $200 million. They're taking a long time.
Just superimpose the guy who plays Barry Allen on the show Flash on that asshole's face.
They do have the technology to do that.
They did the same thing. The Army Hammer.
Yeah.
On the movie, they
made two of them.
Yes, but they superimposed his face on a different actor.
I mean, I think he acted both of those parts. I think. So. I don't know.
I'm telling you. Hold on. I'm telling you. They super. What was that? The Social Network. Actor Josh Pence served as a body double for the brother, and they superimposed his face was digitally put on his body. See?
So, okay. Now, I'm not advocating for him to be canceled, although I think maybe the studio should rethink who their hiring process is and doing a little bit more of a background check on their actors.
I don't go with that cancel shit, but he should be fired immediately and put in a mental institution and monitored or beat with a cattle prod.
So I think he had cattle prod. Yeah, I think he has held people against their will. There's like sort of a suspicion of kidnapping and grooming and a whole bunch of other shit. You know, I think like he looks creepy anyway. I think he looks
All right.
creepy.
He's accused of grooming minors in a sex cult.
There you go. Okay, so the sex cult is right. I'm not crazy, right? That's
He
true, right?
did he beat up an old lady? Let's see. He beat
I'm,
up.
I'm so
Oh,
I'm so like I'm so
oh wait.
like, I don't know
No,
how
hold
to
on.
feel about
Like
you
this
just
can't be
really
real.
worried about the old
This
lady.
can't be fucking real. He choked an old lady.
He did a lot of crazy shit, dude. You just cut out. Are we back? No, you're still out.
Weird.
Oh, there you go. I hear you now.
Good.
Technical difficulties. Thank God that was done quick.
Now you sound like you're a mile away.
Oh, I sound far away.
Yeah,
Would you
hold
like
on.
me to back out?
Hello?
Still far away?
A little better, but still a little weird. So hold on. He did choke a female fan, apparently.
Okay.
Like,
Which
why
one?
is
Is she
this?
an old fan?
No. Well, I don't know. She looks like she's younger than me.
Learn it? Did you want to fight? Is that the deal?
Whoa, bro.
Fight?
Yo. I think he's like fucked up on drugs a lot. You know, like I feel like he gets like really fucking like faded hard.
Yeah, but I kind of agree with everyone talking on that thing, the comments and whatnot. They
Yeah.
said that no one complained. The person didn't come out. They just saw the video and said, "Oh my God, look what he did." And the woman never came out and said, "Oh, he choked me." Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. Choked lady speaks. Let's see if she speaks. Oh, she did.
Yeah,
Let's
they
see.
press charges. Were there criminal charges because of this? I just feel like it's like one of those situations where Hollywood is just like trying to clean up this mess. You know what I mean? And like, I want to say that for like most of like these troublesome actors, like I feel like the studios will go a certain extent to like hide shit, you know, so that movies can come out. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure like the Weinstein company, like fucking, you know, like hid his fucking ill behavior for years, you know, just so that they could get fucking movies.
Yeah,
to be
apparently
made.
she came out and said it wasn't a joke. I felt unsafe. This video was taken out of context because this was after I already asked him to leave a bunch of times, and he called me a Nazi piece of shit, a transphobic piece of shit. Someone
know, man.
shoot that thing before it breeds.
Listen, do you know what this is a testament of?
Retarded
Of
people.
all, like there are good people, yeah, of retarded people, yeah, for sure. There are good people who are trans, and then there are also bad people who claim to be trans.
Just like everything else in the world.
There,
There's
yeah,
good
there
and there's
are
bad.
fucking, yeah, man. You know what I mean? Like there are evil people who, you know, like fucking, like still roam the earth, you know, and no matter what their fucking affiliation is, they'll fucking take advantage of their, you know, like what's been given to them and the blessings that they've been given. So, dipshit of the week, is that Ezra Miller?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotta be.
Ezra Miller is definitely dipshit of the week. I want to say, you know. Honorable mention though. Honorable mention. Anyone who's into fantasy sports. Also dipshits of
Just
the
want to
week.
let you know,
That
I'm gonna
includes me and
destroy.
you.
I'm gonna destroy you and everyone else in the league this year. Did absolutely no research, but
Yo,
my team is gonna work harder because I put in the hard work.
in that small league, that you have potential to do that. Can I just say this, and I'm gonna fully admit, I'm drafting a team at the moment right now. I've been drafting this whole podcast.
And you're watching baseball.
And I'm watching baseball as well, dude. I'm
Wow.
multitasking on a level that nobody even understands. And I'm drinking whiskey on Wednesday.
What kind of whiskey?
Oh, honorable mention this week. Not for dipshit, but also I wanted to talk about the kickboxer guy. What's his name? Andrew Tate is his name.
Yes.
The guy he got canceled. Ezra
And
Miller didn't get
look,
canceled.
I don't
But he got canceled.
I don't agree with a lot of the things he says. He sounds like a raging douchebag.
Agreed.
But just because I don't like him and I think he's a raging douchebag, I don't think he should be taken off the air. There's
yeah,
women.
raging douchebags, even though I don't like them, say funny shit.
I
and
watched
you should fucking
a compilation. I watched a compilation of other female and male podcasters that have said far worse things, and they're still on the air.
They're still out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on which camp you're in. I think he's a Trumper, dude. I think he's like super
I don't
MAGA.
know. I don't even know. Like, people were surprised when I had no idea who he is, and they're like, you listen to Joe Rogan and all these other people. I'm like, yeah, but this guy is not the same, not even in the
I
same
only
league.
know him because of TikTok and Reels, like shorts, like those short videos. He'll come up an algorithm because like you'll look up David Goggins and you'll look up that guy who like would rape women. You remember the black dude who died while he was fucking recently? Yo, what's up, Yoni?
What black guy died while?
What up, brethren? This dude died while he was fucking, and he was like a misogynist and like a self-proclaimed like misogynist, and he would have women callers call up his fucking show, and he would rate them and tell them how they're not gonna get. He's like, you think you're gonna get a millionaire to take care of your 3 kids?
Wow.
He's like, you think you're a 10? You're a 5 at best with the lights off. Like he was savage, and the guy died recently. But this dude is like, he was a savage too, so that's why they took him down, because he would say some fucking outlandish shit. Who else said outlandish shit that they're trying to cancel? Ari Spears. You remember Ari Spears from Mad TV?
No.
He dissed Lizzo, and he said Lizzo looks like the poop emoji.
Oh, that's not really dissing her. I think that's virtually identical. Listen.
I'm saying they're trying to crush
Enough. He can say whatever he wants about anybody he
He's
wants.
a comedian. What do you expect comedians to do?
Not even that.
They're gonna make fun of anything.
Like, I'm so yes, and I'm so over this hurt feelings shit. If something hurt your feelings, that means there's something wrong, and you should change that. Has nothing to do with what the person said.
About something.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you're really truly confident in yourself, like for example, like there are people.
But here's the thing:
who are
overweight,
who are confident in themselves, and then they go up. They will let the world roast them, and then they'll laugh with them.
We don't even know if she's offended. It's these idiots that don't even know her. Like, oh my god,
she was.
She said something.
She said something at like the VMAs or some shit.
Oh, God, shut up.
And like, not directly like implying it was about what Ari Spears said, but what he said happened a couple of days before. And then she was like, oh, to any motherfuckers that think, oh, I want to talk shit, I'm winning. Like, she Charlie Sheened herself.
You're winning, yeah. You're winning.
She's winning, but you can't disagree. I can't disagree with her either. She can live whatever life she wants to live, the same way anybody else can live
her
the
choice.
life that they want to live. You can choose not to listen to whatever media you choose not to listen to. And other people are going to have outlets that are going to have a bullhorn, and you can't do anything about that if you believe in freedom of speech. You got to believe in that shit. And they silenced that dude, Andrew Tate. I think he's a douchebag, but they shouldn't disallow him from.
I don't agree with most
speaking.
of the things he says, and I think he's a giant douche, but he should be allowed to be a douche freely.
You should be allowed to be a douche too. You should be allowed to be a douche.
Me or them?
Them. Them.
You want to see how much of a nerd I am sometimes, occasionally, when I...
We can see from this angle pretty good, Mike.
Are you talking about my White Castle shirt?
Yeah, the White Castle and the fact that we're both in a fantasy league, because you know what? Fantasy sports is just D&D for jocks. That's how much of a see. Okay, D&D, Pokemon cards, yes. It's Pokemon cards for jocks. That's what fantasy sports is. It's legit. You know what I mean? Like Magic the Gathering for jocks. That's what it is. And I'm participating in it right now. I just can't get enough. It's been cracked for me for 20 years. I've legit been playing fantasy sports since 2002. Is that Flareon?
Yes.
Yeah. That's Eevee, right? It's like Eevee turns into either
Yes.
Flareon,
Yes.
Vaporeon.
This one's shiny
or,
though. This one's shiny.
Yeah. It's worth money. Why don't you have it in plastic?
I just got this the other day from Target. Well, not the other day.
Oh, okay.
I went into Target to buy a few things for myself, like a razor or some other stuff. This wasn't last time I was in California, and my daughter decided I don't want to be in Target anymore, and I want to do whatever the hell I want to do. So I said, I'll get you a toy. And I looked around, and I just grabbed the first thing I saw, which happened to be Pokemon cards, and gave her that. But I took out all the ones.
Does she know what it is yet? I mean,
She
your
thinks
son
it's
does,
credit
right? Your son
cards.
does. Oh.
She thinks they're money. So she's
That
like,
is
money,
cheap.
money, money.
Well, okay. NFTs
But I took out,
do work
but
that way.
the
NFTs
nerd
work
in
that
me,
way.
the nerd in me took out all the good ones. I was like, that's useless, that's useless, that's useless, that's
Yeah,
useless.
and you gave your daughter all like the power cards and like.
Yeah, I had a huge collection. I gave them all to John.
That was big back in the day, dude. Like I had friends that were younger than me because my generation, I have those books, but I have like basketball cards, Marvel cards, baseball cards, comic books. That's what I did. By the time my brother's gen rolled around, I mean, he's like a couple of years younger than you. They were just kids rolling around with fucking like binders of Pokemon cards,
Mm-hmm.
and all sorts of versions of this, that.
I
the
used to
other.
play the game. I used to play the card game.
Yeah, somebody tried to show it to me. I knew how to play Magic the Gathering. But-
It's very similar to Magic. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
little differences.
They're
but-
like power cards. You combine them with like, I guess.
Well, I mean, look. It shows you on the card what you need to use that attack. You
Right.
need 2 of the power cards and 1 star, 1 coin.
Yeah.
So that's
But
you could.
you gotta like put them together,
Yeah, no, you gotta put him
like-
down. You
Yeah.
gotta put him down, underneath him.
and then that's like attack somebody else's some other thing, and then
Yeah.
it's like you guys are playing tennis with cards.
And I think the first person to knock out 3 guys wins or some nonsense like that.
I just remember being really into it and being like, all right, 3 or 4 games in with your homies and just being so blunted that we'd be like, what?
No,
And like
no,
somebody would have mucked up and everything, and it would just be everybody would just. too
I'd-
high to
I
move
would
forward with it.
I would sheaf this and play chess.
No, I believe that. I would do that too. I would legit like get fucking blitzed and play like fucking Final Fantasy VII for hours, even days. Like there'd be whole winter weekends that I play that fucking.
I'm
that game.
sorry to say this, but I've never liked any of the Final Fantasy games.
No, I no hate on that, dude. It's fully immersive. I don't have the time to even do anything like that anymore. I can't even play Call of Duty anymore.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
don't. I
easiest
haven't.
shit. You have,
I have-
like what was the last Call of Duty you got into?
It's been years actually for Call of Duty. I have Fortnite, but I barely play it anyway now. I have Dying Light 2. I barely play that now. It's been a couple of weeks or more.
Yeah, dude, I haven't played Call of Duty in probably like 2 months, 3 months. That's the longest I've gone since like 2007.
Oh, you know what's funny? We could never play together because you were on PS Network and I was on.
Oh, but you can now.
Well, I have a PS5 now.
It's still cross-platform.
I know.
Still-
I'm just saying.
yeah.
I came.
So what did you do? Did you do the okay? Did you get it? Not the raffle. Yeah, raffle, not raffle. The lottery. Did you do the lottery thing?
No,
Or were you able to buy it straight up?
I bought it straight up like. I don't even think it was a year ago.
Yeah, because it's still lottery down here.
What I
It's
had,
not lottery.
well, I had Lou watch GameStop for me, and the second they had like a release of 100, he got one.
They were just asking for a G for this motherfucker, dude.
I
I'm
paid-
not ready to drop a G.
I paid the
500,
regular
right?
price.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna pay over that. I like instead of waiting for the drop, I could have got it then and there for $1,200. I was like, I don't want it for 12. What?
Yeah.
But now
I was
the
like, yeah, that's why
VR
I'm not
is.
doing that.
I
Yeah,
kind
I'm
of
not
want
doing that. Yeah.
I kind of want an Oculus.
That's next, dude. I don't know if I'm gonna go PS5. I think I'm gonna go just full on headset.
Yeah, that's what I'm
'Cause
saying.
it
The
is like-
Oculus, it's the way to
Yeah,
go.
you could get it, and it's like fucking $400 or $500 for the full setup. You know what I mean? I think I might just do that.
Did you see?
Yeah,
You
lightsaber
saw
game.
Mark Zuckerberg on Joe Rogan, right?
Yes, I watched the whole episode.
He talked mostly about the VR and all that
Yes,
stuff.
Joe Rogan, we have new technology coming out for. That's all.
He said, I think he sounded more normal than when he was before Congress.
Yes.
I
No,
think
yeah,
he's-
totally. And on the Lex Friedman podcast too. The Lex Friedman
Yeah.
podcast that he did, him and Lex were equa nerds. Like they were
Yeah.
just right at nerd level. with
And
each
he
other.
honestly
And I
does seem
trust
like
Lex.
a freaking super nerd. That's all. He's just a fucking super
Yeah.
nerd.
I know,
I think, maybe I don't know.
he's the quintessential nerdy Jew who married an Asian, and it's like he's living his perfect existence. If there's a simulation, Mark Zuckerberg scored biggest on his simulation. And it just is what it is. Donald Trump scored biggest on his simulation, and right now he's dealing with like he's dealing with fucking turmoil and shit right now because he's trying to run for president again.
What? I fucking
Are these porn stars? Are these porn stars?
love
Are they on Twitch?
Tifa Lockhart. Let's see. Oh, Final Fantasy. The Final
Tifa.
Fantasy character.
Yes. What was
7. Final
Barrett?
Fantasy 7.
Yeah, Barrett was cool. Cloud, everybody. I kept my guy Cloud the first time I played through it, and then I changed it the second time I played through it, put my name in, and then I made up names like the third and fourth time. I had different saves on that card, and I had one card that was just only Final Fantasy 7 saves. I had cards that were just all Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 2, and I would multiple saves just so I could unlock all the shit. I had multiple fucking saves. You remember the memory card? You remember memory cards?
Yeah, I remember the memory cards.
Dude, you had, okay. I was born, and when I was born, already had existed the cartridge into a machine, right? 1981, they already had that. But the Nintendo, the great Nintendo, the Atari 2600 and the Atari 7800 had come out. And then 1985, the Nintendo, Gray Nintendo, and the NES came out. And they were all cartridge-based, right? For a while, it was like that. And then cartridge went from cartridge to CD and disc, and people playing on discs. And when they came out with disc format, they had to give you a memory card that saved your whole fucking shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And you used to carry those to your friends' houses and then go to your friends' houses and be able to start back from where you left off and continue your fucking game if they had Resident Evil as well. And that was the shit, dude. You'd go to your friend's house in the freezing cold in New York, you'd fucking go into his room and you'd fucking spark a blunt, blow it out the window, and play fucking Resident Evil, the very first one, and just replay the opening scene and everybody would shit themselves. The whole place would smell like fucking Cheetos, weed,
I
and farts, bro.
played all the re-releases or whatever they were called of those
Yeah, dude.
of the
And,
Resident
yeah,
Evils.
the remasters, yeah.
Yeah.
Resident Evil always held up. I never thought for like 1 second that they ever lost, any sort of like momentum throughout the years. Like every one they would always, for every generation, would come out with an epic game. And then when they re-released like 1 and 4, Resident Evil 4, that was fucking sick. Final Fantasy 7 was the beast. Final Fantasy 8 was pretty dope too.
I forgot which Resident Evil I stopped playing, but it was when it was they changed the whole.
5 was dope. 5 was in Africa. 6 was
Yeah, that's
alright.
the one. I did not play 5.
5 was awesome. I love 5, dude. The mechanics in 5 was sick, dude. It was so much action, dude. Just you could literally beast throughout a whole game with the shotgun, but that would be the least amount of bullets found the first run around. once you beat it like the second time, like you were able to fucking literally find ammo anywhere. It was like invincible mode without having God mode set in. Yeah, man. Yo, motherfuckers still getting taken out in Hollywood or getting not taken out in Hollywood. Still a fucking weird place. Hollywood's a weird place.
It is a weird place.
You know, like I just don't understand how, like, there's so many double standards that go around for like just any person, like man, woman, it doesn't matter. Them, they, whoever it is.
Oh, that's what you're doing?
Like there are people,
I thought you
there are
meant,
people
like,
who are on a level of privilege who just like get away with fucking shit, even murder. You know what I mean? Who even knows? And I love Christopher Walken, but who even knows what happened to Natalie Wood? You know what I mean? Who even knows?
I wish I could do a Christopher
Somebody
Walken
does.
impersonation right now, being like, I don't know what happened to her. But
She was on the boat, and now she's not. I
but
can't
it's
do
true.
Yeah, I mean,
And
that
people-
was
people
another
don't know
actor
about
who was on
that.
that too. What was? Yeah, I know, dude. I know. Natalie Wood was a famous actress, and she was married to number 2. What was his name? The guy who played number 2 in Austin Powers.
I don't remember, but I know he was there, wasn't he? Wait.
Yeah, he was married to Natalie Wood. Christopher Walken was just on the boat, and there might have been other people, but I think it was Christopher Walken, Robert Wagner, I think is his name,
Yeah.
and Natalie Wood was married to Robert Wagner and or in a relationship with Robert Wagner, and somehow she fell off the side of the boat and died.
Well, but they never
Or-
found her.
Died and fell off the side of the boat. Yeah, whatever, dude.
Right? They
I-
never found her, though. They don't know what happened. They said they don't.
Yeah, I guess so. They don't know. They don't know where she is. So, I mean, declared dead. You know, maybe they faked her death. I don't know. It's shady. I mean, you know. I mean, dude.
I found a
I'm just
tabloid
saying, like-
article, but it's tabloid, so I'm not even going to repeat it. Huh. Well, anyway. Oh, fuck. Thank you for watching the Dumbfounded Dipshits podcast. My leg has fallen asleep from underneath me, and it's stiff. Fuck. Tune in on Wednesday when we talk about absolutely nothing.
Something. Or something.
Lots of it.
I'll think of something. I'll think of something that you'll have to, Raymond, you'll have to ask us about the next name. I'll think of something good enough that you'll have to ask.
Have a good night, Raymond. Have a good night, Jonathan. Chasing the Darkness Paranormal. Thanks for stopping by.
Yo, dude.
Yeah, if you're watching us from Facebook, we're on like 5 different channels. Just, yeah,
Nothing
like, subscribe.
Network. Dumbfounded Dipshits.
Stoners United, East Coast, Stoners United, Stoners World. Anyway, good night, everybody. Like,
Let's go
subscribe.
back.